want to be able to identify. Excellent. Well, as I said earlier, my name is Gideon Roberts. I'm Detective at the Idaho State Police. My partner, Ryan O'Hara, also a detective with the State Police.
What's up, guys?
The reason that we want to talk with you is obviously we're both involved in the investigation regarding the homicide here. So, of course, as we've been going through a lot of the digital evidence, a lot of the video, your vehicle, or what we believe to be your vehicle, was caught on a couple of...
All right, guys, welcome back to the transparency. We've been doing some things. We had some issues. We're this close to fixing everything, but welcome back, Idaho4. This is an all-new interview, and I put it up here, JD, and it's actually DJ. So this is part of Yessie's tip, this dude, but it's also the guys that drove home at 2:48 in the morning. They don't talk to this guy until, as you can see here, 12/14/2022. They talked to Yessie on the 1st, so like 14 days later. Also, on 12/7, remember they dropped the information about, hey, we're looking for that, white Elantra. They would be wanting to identify all of these vehicles. So I'm curious as to why they didn't approach this guy any sooner. But he lives where Jack D's apartment was. Not Jack D, I'm sorry. Where Jack S. Showalter's apartment, where the Queen Roads is, off by itself in that building. That's what we believe. But here, we're just going to listen to it, and then we'll talk about it.
Cameras around that time frame. Sure. So, of course, as we work this, not only are we focusing on identifying what we believe to be someone or somehow involved, but any other vehicle that we see at any time surrounding here, we want to be able to identify and then just make sure we know who this was and mark it off, cover our bases.
Yeah, totally, that makes sense.
So, the evening of the 12th, early morning of the 13th.
Yeah.
Can you give me just a breakdown of your activities and your timeline?
Yeah, would have been, let's see, because it was Sunday when everything kind of took place, so it was the evening before, late. I was out with some buddies. We had basically went bar hopping that night, just for fun, like we do. And then we stayed out until the bars closed at till about whatever, I think it's 2:30, 2 o'clock is closing time.
Okay.
And then I walked with my buddy back to his place, which is over near, so we walked from about, and then I drove home after I sobered up a bit.
Sure.
And I rolled up my driveway, would have been close to 3 o'clock in the morning, I would imagine. And then slept, and then got up that morning, and I took my trash down to the street, right there, at the end of that road there where that big dumpster is. Took my trash there, went back, had breakfast at my apartment, and then I left to go do groceries and laundry and stuff around, I want to say about 10:30 that morning. And then I stayed out there, and that's when I actually got the text message from my buddy that something had happened. He got the vandal alert because he's on campus.
Because it's a what? Why did his buddy get the alert? Also, he knows this, we're talking at this point, it would have been a month later. I would have been if you called me in and I did not know, why I was coming in there or whatever, or there had to be some kind of conversation before this conversation took place. This guy there is no question about, what did I do that morning? Or what did I do that night? It is just so flowing. So flowing. But who's his friend? He works at the university. What does he do?
And he had said, hey man, there was a text message from my buddy that something had happened. He got the vandal alert because he's on campus. And he had said, hey man, there was I got a vandal alert. There's been a murder on your street. And I on my way in from doing laundry, that's when the cops and everybody was there around 12:30, 1 o'clock, whatever time that was. But yeah, that was, you know, where I was and stuff that evening prior, and then in the morning time too.
Okay. Yeah. So just to back up a little bit. So I just want to confirm your address. What is your?
Yeah, my address is.
Again, this guy's name is. They put his name as D.J.
All right. And what vehicle were you driving?
So the same car I drove here today.
It's a white. So we know it's white.
No, great cars.
Yeah.
I had a 86. So the same thing as the first car for me. So.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. And what color is it?
He just said.
Excellent. Okay. And you said you were out bar hopping with some friends. What were their names again?
We went to, I'm trying to retract the night now. We've talked about all of this and how peculiar this is because we were in that main street. We might have walked by those kids or whatever too. Yep. But me and my buddy, we had a drink at we walked over to Mills, and that's where we shot pool and stuff most of the evening. That's where my buddy met us. Okay. And then we stayed there for quite a while, and then we decided to walk down to just to kind of close the night.
Sure. Okay. I'm sorry. Last name again.
And if you guys need their numbers or anything, I can give those to you.
If you have those, that'd be awesome. Can we start with Dave?
Yep. Let me look this up here.
Sure.
I have his buddies as being Dan and a Kyle. And I have this guy being a they didn't redact his name all the way, and so we got it. Hold on. Let me see.
Maybe a silly question. Sure. It was about my life, just for talking with these guys. Do you know, are they both residents here in Idaho?
Yeah, as far as I know.
Just so you guys know, he's not in a different time zone. He lives right there. He's a little bit older.
Excellent. That just helps me when I go to verify. I can look at the driving license. So it's super easy.
Yeah.
He's like a professor there. TA professor.
I guess I would be remiss if I didn't ask, obviously, or the obvious question is, did you know any of the victims? Okay. Were any of them in your classes?
No.
Okay.
No. Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things too. When I saw their photos.
The victims? Okay. Were any of them in your classes?
No.
Right there. Were any of them in your classes? Not classes that he took. Were any of them in your classes? Meaning like that you taught. Okay.
Okay. No. Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things too. When I saw their photos and stuff, you know, I just obviously my heart goes out to everybody.
Sure.
I don't know how many students I've had over the years. I don't remember them being in the class of mine or anything.
I don't remember, how many students I've had over the years, but I don't remember them being in any of my classes. Now, this lines perfectly with Josie, not Josie, but Yessie. Yessie's on a vacation for... Yessie talks about her tip. The reason that she freaking called in a tip was because of this person. This person that lived on King, was a TA/professor, whatever, and he said something weird to her, which was that she had no reason to be scared. Something about not having to be scared, you know, living there, even though the killer was not caught. And she thought that was, and that this guy was always showing up to his class, bloodshot eyes, a little bit of a mess, okay? And so then it got me thinking.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
We need to find out what this guy looks like, okay? I'm curious of his hair, if he's in a sedan. But remember when Molly was talking about seeing somebody? I believe that Payne fucked up, okay? And Molly didn't see this person. Molly saw this person on her, when she was, remember how I've been telling you guys? Molly was over that way at like 251, 248, 249, 250, 251. Remember? And I was like, that scream, all that shit. This is going to blow your motherfucking minds, okay? Because, again, if you could see right here, it says, this is an audio interview with, it says DJ. So I am going to switch I put JD by accident. I'm going to put DJ. Now, Molly, Payne says Molly saw somebody that was an SUV, okay? We went back and checked the 248 car. Okay, Mark's like, man, I swear that's like, it looks like it's almost like an SUV. It's like a little bit bigger. And I've been saying that Molly was back over in that area and, you know, walking around like she said. And that's the time that she's potentially seeing, because then Payne correlates who she saw, that who Molly saw wasn't in a sedan and they were in an SUV. Okay. And now if I'm adding up everything that I've been doing on my list, okay, then that's like Molly seeing this person in a vehicle, a little bit older, okay, spiky blonde hair, whatever, a little bit older, by himself. And this would be during Molly's walking around when? At between 2:45 and 2:50, which is exactly what the fuck I've been saying. That Molly handed stuff off, and then somebody else wanted stuff. She could have potentially, something happened there, but Molly comes back, and remember, she places this order, and which makes perfect sense with timing-wise. And she doesn't hit her stupid little fucking drop-off button. That's why it's imperative. I asked Cyree, I was like, I want all the timing stuff to do with Molly. Where's Molly at 2:15 when the fucking, she accepts the order? Where is Molly at? Where is she? And this would align them perfectly with her going back and getting food, because she's like, said that they threw it away. They didn't think I was coming back. Yeah. So let's continue on.
All right. Did you, well, you said didn't know you hadn't spent any time with him outside of the classroom or anything like that, any personal life? Okay.
Never ran into him on the street or anything?
No, I mean, there's the one thing I remember talking to the investigative reporter from the Idaho Statesman like last week or so.
What? And then this is where I lose it. You guys, what the fuck? This is Tina with What the Fuck Translation Services. A week prior to this, the Idaho Statesman. He speaks to the Idaho Statesman. He's going to tell you he spoke with Kevin. He's like, I can't remember his last name, Kevin. And I'm like, how the fuck does Kevin Fixler know to talk to this person before the cops did? Ready? Listen to this.
Ran into him on the street or anything?
No, I mean, there's the one thing I remember talking to the investigative reporter from the Idaho Statesman like last week or so, and he was wondering about like if I'd ever seen them around, and that area back there. I was telling him the same thing, is that there's so many students and stuff when it's a normal like warm weather semester. I mean, it's possible I could have drove by and they were out somewhere one time or something, but I just can't, recall really.
Sure.
But I never had any interactions or anything with them for sure.
Yeah. Okay. So when you bring that up, so now I'm just curious.
Yeah.
So reporters have been out canvassing or knocking on doors? Or?
Yeah, just kind of, I've noticed there's some of them are just kind of like waiting for people to park, and then they're just assuming like, oh, you live here, let me talk to you. Sure. But that was Kevin, I can't remember his last name, but I talked to him last week. But other than that, everybody's been pretty chill back there too, and staying off the roads and stuff, because it's getting kind of gnarly back there with the ice and stuff.
Yes, it is. I was actually just in your apartment prior to calling, and that's pretty nasty, that little hill parking lot area.
Oh yeah, I don't know what the grade is back there. It's crazy. Another time.
Actually, your apartment.
Oh, totally. Yeah, a couple of years ago, that's exactly. People were coming down there, and it was just too slick, and you slide until you can't go anywhere, and you just kind of go off a little burn.
Oh man. All right. Well, any things that I haven't asked that you might think is useful or wish to know about?
Yeah, I don't think so. The only thing I was thinking about this just after I got that call today, and I don't know how many of the neighbors you guys have really talked to as far as like the Queen Road, all those apartments. Mm-hmm. But I know like the person who lives right next to me, I've never seen them before.
Why would any of this need to be redacted? He's describing somebody.
Okay. But other than that, there's nothing I can really think of. When all of this happened,
He just described somebody. Like, listen to how that leads up.
all those apartments. Mm-hmm. But I know like the person who lives right next to me, I've never seen them before.
And so therefore he wouldn't know their name. I don't see him saying, I never seen them before. They told me that their name was blank. Okay, but why is any of this redacted? Why? Absolutely unbelievable.
As far as like the Queen Road, all those apartments. Mm-hmm. But I know like the person who lives right next to me, I've never seen them before.
Unbelievable. This is like a long redaction.
Okay.
But other than that, there's nothing I can really think of. When all of this happened, I was talking to my mom and stuff on the phone, trying to think like when I was coming up that drive, early in that morning, I didn't notice anything or see anything out of the ordinary.
Sure.
The same thing in the morning when I took my trash down the road, it was just so quiet. And I just remember seeing all the trash and stuff there, and I don't know if that had been emptied immediately after all that stuff happened, but I know that there was a report or something that the police had kind of went through trash and stuff, but I remember throwing my trash in there just going, Jesus, somebody needs to fucking pick this up, but I didn't notice anything out of the ordinary, that I normally would on a Sunday morning,
Yeah. And you have for me, when did you say you threw your trash in there?
This would have been about probably 9 a.m. or 9:30 or something like that early when I got up.
What time do you think you came home?
From doing like grocery shopping and stuff?
No, before that. So you said you were out at the bars and waiting.
Yeah, this would have been probably close to 3 o'clock in the morning.
Okay. So if I would say that we had seen your vehicle in the area around 2:48 a.m.
That makes sense.
That'd be about right?
Okay, then this is where I just was fucking gone. You guys, so I went back and checked this out. He's basically, the cops are saying, if we told you that we have your vehicle coming in at 2:48, and I'm thinking, how? You cannot see no front license plate. You cannot make out that car. Listen to this again.
o'clock in the morning.
Okay. So if I were to say that we had seen your vehicle in the area around 2:48 a.m.
That makes makes sense.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. All
That
right.
makes sense.
Cool. Okay.
Just out of curiosity, since you live so close, with that house,
So I said, how did they know that this vehicle, how were they able to say that this vehicle was him? The geofence. The geofence. That's, in my opinion, how. Or the cars were way able to be made out and until they went ahead and put all these blooming fucking lights. But prior to it, you were able to make out. I mean, how can you say that that's his car? We have your car as this. What? We have your car as the 248 car? How? There were no flock cameras back then. God. There's no flock cameras. Okay? And we see all of these. You don't even know about this person. You don't know what his potential story is going to be. You have a list, like what we made. So here, we're going to come back. There's nothing really more to see, but when you go to, let's see, making your Excel spreadsheets, and you come to, okay, this is what they would have had. They would have had their little spreadsheet out of marking down all these cars at 12:56, at 1 o'clock, one going all the way through, right? And so we get to $248.10 stays. That means this is like when it would have left, if it was something that you could tell that it left. And right here, the 248 car stays, does not leave. Car enters 1112 Cam, passes 1122 King Road, and is very noisy and parks at the Queen parking and seen on LL Cam in the lane. And then when they get out of this vehicle, it's a couple vehicles down from where the 424 car will eventually leave, that SUV. So it's a couple parking spots away from that. And this person gets out, and this person walks like towards the same building that like Showalter. Okay. And so when back in the day when they were trying to figure out, and they thought that like Counter Chestnut and all this bullshit with Showalter and who this could have been and what have you, you identified this man as this car and walks over towards, and like you would have had like an outline of like who all lives in the building, right? And so here's somebody that would have been a professor, same type of things that Brian is, right? Coming home, whatever, and they just don't talk to him. And then no cars come into the King area. However, lights can be seen on 1112 camera. Then I thought to myself, well, I need to go back and listen to make sure that this isn't the group of people that somebody was like, we got a ride from a cop, because I thought this was what I was looking for. But right here, this timestamp is right when Molly and right where the undercovers, they're all over there at right before the Banfield shit. his friend works for the university. He got the vandal alert.
Typically pretty a lot of parties.
Usually it's very busy, that house, and then the ones that are at the end of King Road, that like little I don't know, cul-de-sac or whatever you want to call it, that one's usually just hopping with people. So that one, and then the one that was a newer build, it's kind of like adjacent to that one, that nobody's been really there since all this happened.
Okay.
And as far as I know, it's all undergrad students and stuff that live back there, but on the weekends, and I told the reporter this too, because he was wondering about the frequency of parties and stuff. I said, usually, it's like stuff starts like Thursday night, and it just goes all weekend until you just don't hear nothing on Sunday because everybody's sleeping in or whatever.
Yep.
But that's in my experience, and I've lived back there for, this is coming up on 5. I lived back there, it's just the same.
Yeah.
Whether the students are coming in and out, or if it's the same students or whatever, it's just the environment back there. That's how it's always been. It's so weird now, it's just so quiet back there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I would imagine, like, if anybody's telling you that those houses are like not that, it's just not the case.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could, if, I don't know how many people you guys have talked to in that apartment complex, but they'd probably tell you the same thing. It's a little rowdy back there, but.
Yeah, we've got a little bit of a mixed message, but the majority of people kind of
Sure.
tend to do it. I mean, it's college, what do you expect?
Yeah.
Which, yeah, I mean,
That's,
certainly
it's part of it.
it's part of the experience. So. Okay, awesome. If you don't mind me asking, what type of, you said you're, what type of,
Yeah.
Like, why is this all redacted? Like, what the fuck? Look at this.
What type of, you said you're, what type of,
Yeah.
yeah, we've got a little bit of a mixed message, but the majority of people kind of
Sure.
tend to do it. I mean, it's college, what do you expect?
Yeah.
Which, yeah, I mean,
That's,
certainly
it's part of it.
it's part of the experience. So. Okay, awesome. If you don't mind me asking, what type of, you said you're, what type of,
Yeah.
You said you're a law professor. What type of law? If you don't mind me asking. That's what the fuck was said. And now it's all redacted. And this person is a law professor at the University of Idaho. And this is not this is not this Jeremy Reagan kid or whatever. This is not who this is. And so all of this gets redacted.
Excellent. Well, I gotta ask because I can hear the accent a bit. So, where are you from?
Oh yeah, so you hear it.
Oh yeah. Okay, excellent.
Yeah, that's all my students, they comment the same thing when I start talking.
Yep.
There are certain phrases I have too, they're like, what is that?
Uh-huh.
I remember I said something about like the night before Halloween one time about being like Devil's Night, and they're like, what?
Yep.
And I go, you guys don't do that? They're like, no, we don't. Okay, that's good, that's good.
Yep. Yeah. Well, excellent.
Cool.
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming in.
Yeah.
Anything that you can think of?
Sure.
Excellent. Well, like I said, that really helps us
Sure.
hammer this down because not only are we focused on, of course, I'm sure you've seen the news press release of that one white car.
Right.
We want to talk to those people
Totally.
as well.
Yeah.
But any other vehicle that we see, we want to just
Totally. That makes sense.
we can make sure that we talk.
So you're not going to ask this man any questions about the fact that whatever Yessie had to say. Whatever. Anyways, just put it in the column of, hey, that's the end of the interview. That, hey, this is the, let's see, 1 second. We're going to play. Okay. First, when you look at this report, this is a very long interview where they're talking about this potentially giving the rides to whoever. Hold on. Okay. This is the interview that they gave me. On December 14th at about 2 p.m., Idaho State Police Detective Ryan O'Hara and ISP detective, and Federal Bureau of Investigation Task Force Officer TFO Gideon, Task Force Officer, that's what TFO is, Gideon Roberts, interviewed blank at the Moscow Police Department regarding his activity on the evening of November 12th and early morning of November 13th. Blank confirmed it was his vehicle. Okay? Do you understand those words? He confirmed that was his vehicle. Where did you see any type of confirmation of like showing that that was his vehicle? That would require, here, we want you to take a look at this. We want you to take, here, look at this video. Is this your vehicle? What are you talking about? Confirming. The words confirming. Confirming. Blank confirmed it was his vehicle. A white blank. Now, we're going to go ahead and take a look at that next day, some body camera, because we're going to do a couple different things. But this person was driving a white blank. Captured on video camera as he returned home to blank, Moscow, Idaho, around 2:48 a.m. on November 13th, 2022. Two subsequent interviews affirmed blank's account. He's 32 years old. The next guy, 44. The next individual, 36. On December 4th at about 2 p.m., again, listen to the audio recording for full details. I think I'll do that. On the evening of November 12th until about 2:30 a.m., November 13th, he was bar hopping with his friends. Blank and blank. He and blank had a drink at Hunga Dunga. Then walked to Mingles, where they shot pool most of the evening and were joined by blank there. Then continued to John's Alley and stayed there until it closed around 2:30. After the bars closed, they walked to blank, this person's house, one of his friend's house, near the Pizza Perfection. But that's not what he says, near Pizza Perfection. He actually says by L something. If we go back and listen to it, so I highlighted that because I was like, that's actually not what he says. He's making it sounds like it was about to be like some Mexican restaurant. Okay, like L whatever. where he sobered up before driving his blank home. After he arrived home, he went to bed and slept until about 9 a.m. Once he woke up, he took his garbage to the dumpster, noticing it was overfull and needed to be emptied. He returned to his apartment and ate breakfast. He did not know any of the victims, nor did he have any contact with them. And again, he just accepts that. At about 5 p.m., I spoke with blank by telephone. Blank affirmed blank's timeline of November 12th and 13th by providing the following information. He and blank had dinner at Rants and Raves at around 5 to 6 p.m., then went to Mingles, where they were joined by blank until it started to slow down. Well, really? Rants and Raves? That's not what fucking what's-his-name said. What's-his-name said that he went to Hunga Dunga. You guys heard that, right? I'll play it again. El Redacto. That's where they were hanging out. Fucking love you, Allie. Allie coming in with the El Redacto. Dead. We're going to have so much fun on this Sunday. Buckle up, bitches. Now we can rewind it, but I'm telling you, I heard Hunga Dunga. Did you guys hear Rants and Raves? We'll listen for it. Okay, then, by providing the information, he and blank had dinner at Rants and Raves around 5 to 6. Then went to Mingles, where they were joined by blank until it started to slow down. Then continued to John's Alley until closing around 2:30 a.m. Now think about this. He has to be the car that gets on camera by 2:48 a.m. When did he sober up? After leaving John's Alley, he and blank walked to his residence, like his friend's residence. Blank drove home around 2:30 to 2:45 a.m. He did not know any of the victims. You already wrote that. Maybe this other guy, he drove home around 2:30 to 2:45 a.m. I don't know. He did not know any of the victims, and he had not had any contact with any of them. However, a student in his class, blank, did notify him he would not be at class because he was a friend of one of the students and would be attending the memorial service. So, hang tight here. So the second person that they are talking to on the phone, meaning one of the friends, he's a professor too. Now on December 15th at about 8:30 p.m. I spoke with the other person. Blank affirmed blank and blank's account. Blank met blank and blank at Mingles around 8, where they stayed playing pool and drinking until about midnight. Then they walked to John's Alley, where they had a few more drinks and stayed there until closing. Once the bars closed, he parted ways with blank and blank as they began walking towards blank's residence, while he began hitchhiking home. Located on blank in Moscow until someone gave him a ride to the blank located across the street from his residence. What the fuck? Hitchhiking home in 2022? Who the fuck does that? He began hitchhiking home located on blank in Moscow until someone gave him a ride to the blank to somewhere else, which was located across the street from his residence. Once he was home, he ate some food and then went to bed, where he stayed until about 12. He did not know any of the victims and had not had any contact with any of them. Well, who's the person that's asking which one of these guys called I called my friend who lived over there on King and was like, there's a fucking murder. Where do you see that? Where are you being asked anything? So these are the other two that we're waiting on right here. Because according to this guy's account, right? After he arrived home, where does this any talk about, like, once he returned home to eat breakfast, he did not know any of the victims at about 5 p.m. So that was it. He doesn't talk about any. And I'm over here thinking to myself, we are just letting them say to this guy, if we told you 248, that's like, think about this. You want me to believe after we just upend what happened? So this is what I wanted to hear. And I'm writing and I'm appealing this, by the way. So I'm going to go back to play this one more time for you guys. And what I'm going to be appealing is none of this interview should be redacted. Okay? Because it is material. It is fucking material. And the reason I asked for this was, and I asked for it at the same time that I asked for the girls that was the cat lady that came back to pet her cats. Because they went ahead and assigned a 424 car to a woman whose car that wasn't. Okay? And now here, we want to know who this 248 and 10-second car is that comes in, that they want to assign to this person, right? There you go. The Camry leaves, yes. So they want to assign this person to the 248 car. When I say these people, the police who just lied to us and we caught red-handed trying to say, hey, we want to assign the 424 car to somebody. So you have 4:24 a.m., a lie, being assigned to the cat lady who's not the cat lady. And then I said, well, I want to hear this dude identifying his car. That was the whole purpose of me doing this, because of what this report said. This report said that he identified his vehicle. He confirmed. Right here. He and blank had a drink at Hunga Dunga, then walked to Mingles. Rants and raves never said, right? Where is it that he says... Oh, it's up here. Did you put it up here in this? Right here. So the summary narrative, this portion right here, does not get put with any of the narrative. So if one just reads from 1 A, B, C, D, E, and F, where do you see in 1 through F, 1 A, B, C, D, E, F? If you read that, you are never going to see where he's identifying his vehicle. It's right here in this summary narrative. Everything that comes from this summary narrative is usually taken from like the beginning of right here. This part, no, like 1. Like on what it is. So that was another like thing that was just deviating, where it was like, okay, hey, the most important part of this whole thing was the fact that regarding his activity, blank confirmed it was his vehicle. He confirmed it was his vehicle, a white blank captured on video camera as he returned home to blank. Now, we're going to listen to this. And one of the detectives says, yeah, man, I had a 1986, talking about a vehicle. So the vehicle that this man is saying that he has, okay, it is the same make and model, or at least make. I think it's the same make and model of what one of the detectives was talking about having back in he had a 1986. So if you take if you take that into consideration, go check out when like certain vehicles, like there's certain vehicles that weren't even being made in the 80s that are today, or in like the 2022, 2010, or 2010, 2015. Like there's vehicles that they weren't made then. So we're going to listen to this again, and we're going to listen to this man supposedly confirming his vehicle. Because he never confirms his vehicle. He was never showed. When was he ever showed his vehicle? He wasn't. He didn't do it. This didn't happen in this interview. It just didn't happen.
Excellent. Well, as I said earlier, my name is Gideon Roberts. I'm a detective with the Idaho State Police. My partner, Ryan O'Hara, also a detective with the State Police. Appreciate you coming down. The reason that we want to talk with you is obviously we're both involved with the investigation regarding the homicide here. So, of course, as we've been going through a lot of the digital evidence, a lot of the video, your vehicle, or what we believe to be your vehicle, was caught on a couple of cameras around that time frame. So, of course, as we work this, not only are we focusing on...
His vehicle was caught on a couple of the cameras. How? I want to see these clear fucking images to say his car was caught on a couple of these cameras. I want to see the license plate. I want to see these. How did they identify this vehicle belonging to him? They just told you it was... Listen to how they're saying that they did it.
Regarding the homicide here. So, of course, as we've been going through a lot of the digital evidence, a lot of the video, your vehicle, or what we believe to be your vehicle, was caught on a couple of cameras around that time frame. So, of course, as we work this, not only are we focusing on identifying what we believe to be someone or somehow involved, but any other vehicle that we see at any time surrounding here, we want to be able to identify and then just make sure we know who this was and mark it off. Cover our bases.
Yeah, totally. That makes sense.
Cover our basis. Cover our basis. They supposedly do not have Brian Colbert's name yet. We're covering our basis. What? They supposedly don't have his name until 12/19.
The 12th, early morning of the 13th.
Yeah.
Can you give me just a breakdown of your activities and your timeline?
Yeah, would have been, let's see, because it was Sunday when everything kind of took place, so it was the evening before, late. I was out with some buddies. We had basically went bar hopping that night, just for fun, what we do. And then we stayed out until the bars closed at like, until about, whatever, I think it's 2:30, 2 o'clock is closing time. And then I walked with my buddy back to his place, which is over near So we walked from about, and then I drove home after I sobered up a bit. And I rolled up my driveway until about, whatever, I think it's 2:30, 2 o'clock is closing time. And then I walked with my buddy back to his place, which is over near So we walked from about, and then I drove home after I sobered up a bit. And I rolled up my driveway, would have been close to 3 o'clock in the morning, I would imagine. And then slept, and then got up that morning, and I took my trash down to the street, right there, at the end of that road there where that big dumpster is. Took my trash there, went back, had breakfast at my apartment, and then I left to go do groceries and laundry and stuff around, I want to say about 10:30 that morning. And then I stayed out there, and that's when I actually got the text message from my buddy Dave that something had happened. He got the vandal alert, because he's on campus. And he had said, hey man, I got a vandal alert, there's been a murder on your street. And on my way in from doing laundry, that's when the cops and everybody was there around 12:30, 1 o'clock, whatever time that was. But yeah, that was, you know, where I was and stuff that evening prior, and then in the morning time too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just to back up a little bit, so I just want to confirm your address. So what is your
My address is
all right. And what vehicle were you driving?
so the same car I drove here today. It's a
It's a white.
No, great cars.
They're
I
awesome.
had an 86, so the same thing as the first car for me. So
Yeah.
excellent. Okay.
Great cars. Great cars. Camrys are great cars.
And what color is it?
He just said white.
Excellent. Okay. And you said you were out bar hopping with some friends. What were their names again?
We went to, I'm trying to retract the night now. We've talked about all of this and how peculiar this is because we were in that main street. We might have walked by those kids or whatever too.
Yep.
But me and my buddy, we had a drink at Hunga.
See, we had a drink at Hunga. The same place that they went to the formal.
We walked over to Mills, that's where we shot pool and stuff for most of the evening. That's where my buddy Colin met us.
Okay.
And then we stayed there for quite a while, and then we decided to walk down to just to kind of close the night.
Sure. Okay. I'm sorry.
He never once says rants and raves or whatever the fuck it was called.
Last name again?
And if you guys need their numbers or anything, I can give those to you.
If you have, those would be awesome. Can we start with it?
Yep. Let me look this up here.
Sure.
So then he's looking up their numbers. This is a long time to say people's names and numbers, don't you think?
I guess I would be remiss if I didn't ask, obviously, or the obvious questions. Did you know any of the victims? Okay. Were any of them in any of your classes?
No.
Okay.
No. Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things too. When I saw their photos and stuff, you know, I just obviously my heart goes out to everybody. I don't know how many students I've had over the years. I don't remember them being in a class of mine or anything.
Okay, so then this is where I just don't get it. I don't understand. Why wouldn't he have gotten the alert? Why wouldn't he have gotten the vandal alert? So for example, he wants to say, like, he's already has a story for this, which is why his buddy calls him. His buddy Dan, he knows that on his phone records there's going to be a call from Dan to him, okay? And he wants to say that that's how he was alerted to this. Well, you didn't get your own motherfucking vandal alert? So, and how he explains this is that Dan does something with the university. But isn't he also involved with the university if he's like a professor? Is his buddy like a fucking, I don't know, what does his buddy do for the university?
Out to everybody. I don't know how many students I've had over the years. I don't remember them being in a class of mine or anything.
And then just redacts. Why is this redaction just happening? He's over here talking about,
That makes sense. Okay. All right. Did you any time outside of the classroom or anything like that, any personal life. Okay.
Never ran into them on the street or anything?
No, I mean, there's, the one thing I remember talking to the investigative reporter from the Idaho Statesman like last week or so, and he was wondering about like if I'd ever seen them around, and that area back there, I was telling him the same thing, is that there's so many students and stuff when it's a normal like warm weather semester. I mean, it's possible I could have drove by and they were out somewhere one time or something, but I just can't, recall really.
Sure.
But I never had any interactions or anything with them for sure.
What do you mean you could have drove by sometime one time when they were like out or something? What the fuck are you talking about? You'd have drove by every single day you had to go to your fucking house. You had to drive by that fucking house to get to your place.
Okay. So you bring that up, so now I'm just curious.
Yeah.
So reporters have been out canvassing or knocking on doors? Or?
Yeah, just kind of, I've noticed there's some of them are just kind of like waiting for people to park, and then they're just assuming like, oh, you live here, let me talk to you. Sure. But that was Kevin, I can't remember his last name, but I talked to him last week. But other than that, everybody's been pretty chill back there too, and staying off the roads and stuff, because it's getting kind of gnarly back there with the ice and stuff.
Yes, it is. I was actually just at your apartment prior to calling, and it's...
This guy was just out over there at his apartment prior to like, him calling back or whatever. He was just, one of these dudes was out over there at the Queen Road Apartments.
Pretty nasty, that little hill parking lot area.
Oh yeah, I don't know what the grade is back there. That's crazy.
Actually, the one above you, where it comes to that S corner. I would imagine people end up in your apartment.
Oh, totally.
Careful.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, that's exactly that. People were coming down there, and it was just too slick, and you slide until you can't go anywhere, and you just kind of go off a little burn.
Oh, man. All right. Well, anything that I haven't asked that you might think is useful or we should know about?
Yeah, I don't think so. I was thinking about this just after I got that call today, and I don't know how many of the neighbors you guys have really talked to, as far as like the Queen Road, all those apartments. Mm-hmm. But I know like the person who lives right next to me, I've never seen them before.
Whoever the fuck it has to do with.
But other than that, there's nothing I can really think of.
Other than what was just redacted. Other than that, you didn't see the cops fucking spraying and going into, was that about going into that apartment?
Road, all those apartments. Mm-hmm. But I know like the person who lives right next to me, I've never seen them before.
I think he could be potentially talking about when they went in there, the cops, and he saw the cops go in there. And they were like processing the apartment. This redaction right here needs to be answered to. Why the fuck is this being redacted? This guy is not giving up privacy about himself. He is simply saying something, whatever he fucking saw from the neighbor. And we need to know what that is. Why would this be redacted? How is this a personal identifier? Why would this be redacted?
Okay.
But other than that, there's nothing I can really think of. When all of this happened, I was talking to my mom and stuff on the phone, trying to think like...
Oh my God, imagine that somebody else talks to their mom that's 31 years old.
When I was coming up that drive, early in that morning, I didn't notice anything or see anything out of the ordinary.
Sure.
The same thing in the morning when I took my trash down the road, it was just so quiet. And I just remember seeing all the trash and stuff there, and I don't know if that had been emptied immediately after all that stuff happened, but I know that there was a report or something that the police had kind of went through trash and stuff, but I remember throwing my trash in there, just going, Jesus, somebody should fucking pick this up. But
Yep.
I didn't notice anything out of the ordinary, you know,
Yeah.
that I normally run on a Sunday morning, you know.
Yeah. And you have to forgive me again, when did you say you threw your trash in there?
This would have been about probably 9 a.m. or
Okay.
9:30 or something like that early when I got up.
So what time do you think you came home?
From doing like grocery shopping and stuff.
No, before that. So when you said you were out at the bars and waiting to
Yeah, this would have been
bit.
probably close to 3 o'clock in the morning.
Okay. So if I were to say that we had seen your vehicle in the area around 2:48 a.m.,
That makes
that'd
sense.
be about right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
that
right.
makes sense.
That would make sense. Dude, that is not confirming his fucking vehicle. Now, we're going to show you the vehicle we're going to show you something here. This is unbelievable. That is how they're saying that it was confirmed. Unbelievable. These people just are fucking out of their mind, out of their gourds. This is fucking insane. Blank confirmed. Confirmed. It was his vehicle, a white blank, captured on video camera as he returned home to blank. What the fuck is that? That's what it says. You guys just listen to this. That is not confirming. When did we hear him looking at camera footage? Did you guys hear any pausing for us to look at camera footage? Let's see. Let's see what else happens.
Okay.
Just out of curiosity, since you live so close, is that house typically pretty like a lot of parties?
They're usually, it's very busy, that house, and then the ones that are at the end of King Road, that like little, I don't know, cul-de-sac or whatever you want to call it, that one's usually just hopping with people. So that one, and then the one that was a newer build, it's kind of like adjacent to that one, that nobody's been really there since all this happened.
Okay.
And as far as I know, it's all undergrad students and stuff that live back there, but on the weekends, and I told the reporter this too, because he was wondering about the frequency of parties and stuff. I said, usually, it's like stuff starts like Thursday night, and it just goes all weekend until you just don't hear nothing on Sunday because everybody's sleeping in or whatever.
Yep.
But that's in my experience. I've lived back there for, this is coming up on
5 years.
that I lived back there. It's just the same.
Yeah.
Whether the students are coming in and out, or if it's the same students or whatever, it's just the environment back there. That's how it's always been. And it's so weird now. It's just so quiet back there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I would imagine, like, if anybody's telling you that those houses are like not that, it's just not the case.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could, if, I don't know how many people you guys have talked to in that apartment complex, but they'd probably tell you the same thing. It gets a little rowdy back there, but.
Yeah, we've got a little bit of a mixed message, but the majority of people kind of tend to be. I mean, it's college, what do you expect?
Yeah.
Which, yeah, I mean, certainly
It's part of it.
it's part of the experience. So. Okay, awesome. If you don't mind me asking, what type of, you said you're, what type of,
Yeah.
You said you were a what? He said, listen to this. You said you were a...
if you don't mind me asking, what type of, you said you're, what type of,
Yeah.
What type of law? I'm telling you, it's a law. It's a law professor. He just talked about teaching. He says law. What type of law? And that's what gets redacted.
Like I said, that really helps us. Yep. Yeah. Well, excellent. All right. Well, thank you very much for coming in. Anything that you can think of?
Sure.
Excellent. Well, like I said, that really helps us
Sure.
hammer this down, because not only are we focused on, of course, I'm sure you've seen the news release of that one white car.
Right.
We want to talk to those people
Totally.
as well.
Yeah.
But any other vehicle that we see, we want to just
Yeah, totally. That makes sense.
we can make sure that we talk to and identify anybody with those vehicles as well. So, excellent. Well, thank you very much for taking the time out to come talk with us.
Yeah.
We'll get you out of here.
If you guys need anything else, just let me know.
Excellent.
I don't live too far.
All right, we really appreciate it.
I don't live too far. Just anything else you can do. Yeah. Okay, great. Now, they didn't show him as we played the whole thing. There was not one single time where it was, let me, like, that he confirmed that that was his vehicle on the camera. That never happened. Never fucking happened. Now go find me where there's a D and a J on Ann Taylor's witness list. Now I'm going to show you a camera from back. We're going to do from during this time frame of when he came home. Okay. Okay, do you hear that? Do you hear me running? Okay, that's at 2:48 and 12 seconds coming through. You hear that vehicle. That's who they're saying. That's who they're saying is this dude. Okay, now look at Linda Lane. Now look at Linda Lane, and we go to Linda Lane. We're going to go to the same timestamp. And so 2:47:38. $2:48. Okay, now. $4:23 and 55 seconds. Right there. Now let's look at in the morning at 9.
D.J. silence is really interesting. Jeremy's in another one. Jeremy's in the 11 to 12:05 footage. We saw him.
Okay, he thought that he left around 10:30 to go grocery shopping.
I can't believe. Fine. I think this is the one who in the report. I gotta backtrack a bunch. Let's see. Go forward. We saw the car leave already. Okay. Those are off by like a minute. It's almost 30 seconds in. And barking. Do the bells make the dogs bark? I bet you it does. Movement right here between the red and this white vehicle behind this dumpster. Like somebody's over there, but I can't tell. I guess it could be a cat on top of the car. I know my cats are indoor cats, but I still go outside and the cats from across the street have... You're one of my favorites. So why is this silent for so long? My God, everybody wearing shorts? Oh, she's got pants on. And another person. Okay, there's another doggy. Black poopies. And another car.
10:48 black.
Snyder? Is it
Why
Snyder?
is there no audio?
Oh, happy Friday. There's another seat. Sometimes the Jules can roast me. Oh, doggy. Kissing with a knife was disgustingly distasteful and tacky as shit. Don't hit that car behind the dumpster. Oh my god. Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross. I have never seen a blurrier backup cam. It's Messenger. If they go in and they file for this stuff and they pay the duplicate fee, it should be all the same. But there was like no reason for that.
Okay. So let's go check 9 out. I have nothing between 10 and 11. Or I mean 9, whatever the fuck this time is. Let's go back to I want to look and see if we do 9. There we go. Oh, yeah, now we going somewhere here. Okay. Okay, so we're going to do this one more time. But what time, if it's coming back at that time? When did it leave? Yeah, I get that camera leaves at 9:09. Yeah, but where's this dude? This dude saying he went to the fucking goddamn grocery store. There you go. What color is that? 949. I would say that's silver, but fuck. There is no fucking vehicle. Where is he leaving to go do laundry? God damn these people. Go back to 10.
Deep G silence is really interesting. Jeremy's in another one. Jeremy's in the 11 to 12:05 footage. We saw him. That's it. That.
12:55 in the morning.
12:55 in the morning.
Ends on the 17th of November, sometime in the evening, and then there's one random day
in
December. But there's nothing from the 12th.
So there's
that
nothing
would show them getting
that would show them
picked
getting
up
picked up and driven out. It would just show the car coming
but
in.
As you can see,
but
like,
as you can see, like, we can't see the house.
So again, unless the Consalvases have footage that we've been being lied to for the last 3 years, which given their track record
is possible. Okay, and that's just a fact. That's not an opinion based on the bad taste they have in my mouth for how they treat Samantha and her child and all the bullshit and all the lies. It's the lies. It's the lies. They knew about Jack. See the wall. Xana's wall. And you can see, okay, now they're picking up somebody. Okay. And you can see the back patio. Like if you're on the porch right here, and you just look like this, you can see. And that would also include Kaylee's balcony. So if someone's up on the balcony or thing. He's not an idiot. He's right about there being Kaylee's blood on that table. Most of y'all are not going to like my review of his video because it's disgustingly tacky. But he's right about there being Kaylee's blood on the table. He's probably not right about the...
There's no fucking car. There's no fucking car. There's no fucking car. God damn it. Marky, are you saying there's an echo? I don't know why you keep repeating. Echo where? Oh. I was like, God damn it. I was like, what the fuck is going on? It's not mine. When you play Jules' video, it's echoing. Well, what the fuck? There is no vehicle. there was no vehicle that he could be. No, Lana, you were flawless today. It's been a fucking, the past 3 days have been hell. What the hell? Are these people, I mean, is this... eleven. Oh, what timestamp is this? I'm gonna check 8. Okay, hold on. We might need right there. There it is. There it is. That's it. That's the car. That's it. That's it. White, do you think that's what it is? Or do you think that it could be potentially a can it be any way possible that could be any way possible? We got to look at Becker's report. It's like he waited for this car behind him. What the hell's going on? It's not getting any bigger. Oh, there's a fucking... That's Subaru. This white Subaru. That's it. It's the fucking white Subaru. Oh my god. Listen to that clunker. And it sits up higher. Than that. That's it. He has all of his times fucked up. All right, so listen to that car one more time. The one right before that. Okay, now let's go to the night before. Here we go.
What are you?
Ah. Fucking A.
One more time.
I think that's it.
I can't tell what this is. It's loud. Looks kind of long. Is that a truck? Because of the damn lights. I don't know. It looks like a light color. I can't tell. Like maybe a small van or an SUV. It's hard to tell. Yeah, it's loud.
Yep, there you go. The 2:48 a.m. is a white Subaru. It's the car that's leaving at 11:28, and he totally has his fucking shit all messed up. So 2:48 is a Subaru. Oh my God! Wait a second. And 11:28 a.m. is that vehicle. And then let's go ahead and go with, when does 1112, do we have it from, does it stop at 12:05 or does it continue until 1? Because we're going to have to use fucking the body cams to find this fucker coming back. God, okay. Son of a bitch. You think the car comes back at 102? The Subaru never comes back. The video ends at 102. Okay, well, I have an idea. Let's see. Let's see if we can find it. Fuck all that. I don't need any of this noise. If you do laundry, it takes like a decent amount of time. what's his name? House. If I use House as cam too. Let me check out the guy that did that girl again. Hold on. Ah, fuck. Fuck.
Nope. Yeah, don't believe you guys. Shit. Yeah. Go home.
You're making it too. Want to talk this right now?
Oh, yeah, sure.
That'd be great.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we're just playing video games and runs into my ring. Dude, there's a house. Runs into my ring. Dude, there's a house.
One door to door.
I guess if you were asleep. Yeah.
And when I left, I'm guessing it's probably that house right over there that you guys were kind of looking at, or I don't know if it is, but there's like, right where that other drive up is, that's where I parked my car, at the bottom part of that apartment, there's these two guys asking to get in. At the bottom part of that apartment, there's these two guys, but there's like, right where that the other drive up is, that's where I parked my car. At the bottom part of that apartment, there's these two guys asking to let in. Like, hey, I'm here, can you let me in?
Gotcha.
And then when I was driving away, that they were walking away from the building. So they didn't get in, but like, they were calling someone to let them in for some reason.
Okay.
And that was a little strange, and so I don't have my phone, because approximate time when I left all over the place, so I don't.
The first house on the left down here, or that?
When I was I was looking down because I was walking up to my car because it was on that slant.
Yep.
And so I looked down and I saw them and I was like, that's kind of freaking weird. And so, please send some videos. There's some videos. Okay. Just...
Let's do this. Start taking screenshots, people. Start getting your screenshots. All right, we're gonna fucking just do a complete goddamn canvas of the entire fucking neighborhood. Fuck them. She was waving to them. Look at. Why didn't he go down to the lost door? Why the fuck didn't he go down to the last door? Complete fucking idiot. Look at that. The night of the murders, where they think Brian Culber parked up behind, there was a vehicle right there. That vehicle that's backed in. Well, that's proved to me that that vehicle wasn't there, and it's one of the vehicles coming in after 4:20. It's a Chevy.
I'm serving gunshot far conducting an investigation in the area, and was curious if you heard anything overnight.
USMC.
That was peculiar or out of the ordinary or anything like that.
I know I was up till about 2 a.m.
I'm sorry?
I know I was up till about 2 a.m., but I don't recall hearing anything. I guess I did have my headphones and I was listening to music pretty late.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you. No worries. Thanks. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you, sir.
That's it. What a fool. Shit's getting done around Moscow. Why didn't he go the other way?
We're conducting an investigation in the area. You're probably aware.
No gunshots or anything like that. I'm pretty good. I don't know. Somebody said to somebody who I heard from that that it was gunshots, but that's I'm kind of weirded out because I didn't hear anything.
Okay. Where did you hear that from?
My sister. Yeah, I don't know. She's been talking to people and she I think got the vandal alert, and so she texted me and just to make sure.
Okay. But didn't hear anything out of the ordinary. Okay. Thanks, guys.
Are we blocked off in here right now?
You guys are welcome to leave and come back. Just
I was coming back with my car because I left earlier and I saw that there was like a cop car blocking up.
Yeah, we're just trying to limit the amount of
down there.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to leave and come back. So.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Where did you hear that from? Like, what a moron. Like, what do you mean your sister? Like, who's your sister? What a fucking idiot.
Hey, Sergeant Anderson with the police department. What's your name? Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
What's going on today because I wasn't sure, so I wasn't here all night, so I personally didn't hear anything that was going on, so
Okay.
I think it was probably around like 8 this morning. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Time to wake up.
I think it was probably around like 8 this morning. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Department, how you doing?
Okay. How are you?
Okay. What's your name? Nice to meet you, John. You by?
I don't.
Okay. We were conducting an investigation in the area.
I heard.
Okay. Did you hear anything out of the ordinary last night?
I did not hear anything last night.
Okay. Were you here all night last night?
I was. Oh,
Okay.
fiddlesticks. Hey. Sorry, I should have shut the door.
No worries.
Do you mind if I talk to you outside?
Yeah, no, that's
or
fine.
I can throw her in an office or
Yeah,
something.
no, you're fine.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything last night. I was home all night. Nothing out of the ordinary for me.
Okay, what time did you go to bed?
I think I went to bed at maybe 11.
Okay, what time did you wake up?
Woke up at 9
Okay.
today.
Awesome. Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
Take care.
What a job.
Hello. Hi there. How you doing?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
Hey, good. Sorry to bug you.
What's up?
You high?
No.
Okay. Well, we're conducting an investigation. Yeah.
What's up?
You high?
No.
Okay. Well, we're conducting an investigation in the area.
Okay.
I was just curious if you heard anything overnight or
No.
anything like that.
No.
Were you here all night last night?
No. I worked late. Got here late. Went to bed.
Okay. What time did you get off work?
Last night I got off work around 12
stayed there till maybe like 1.
Okay.
Got home around 1:32.
Okay, you went to bed after that, or? Okay, what time did you wake up?
A couple hours ago.
What's that?
A couple hours ago.
Okay. Alright, appreciate it.
Yeah, have a good day.
Yeah, you too.
Enon, look at that cat.
How's it going? Pretty good. What's your name, sir? Not one I need to answer. Apologize, I put a phone call. Make sure it's not one I need to answer.
What?
Go here in just a second. We're doing okay at the moment. We're doing some canvassing right now, so.
Alright.
Well, if you want to call Eric and Corbin might need a spell doing they're doing the crime scene log stuff, so just security, they might need a break.
Okay, I'll call them.
Alright, thanks man. Security, they might need well, if you want to we're doing okay at the moment. We're doing some canvassing right now, so. Well, if you want to call Eric and Corbin might need a spell. Hey guys, which apartment do you guys live in?
Right here.
Okay, I'll come chat with you in just a second. Are you still saw anything peculiar last night? Okay.
I was working pretty late.
What time did you work?
I got home at like midnight,
okay.
15-ish. And it's pretty dark. You know, usually there's music and stuff, but
sure.
It was pretty dark, pretty quiet, and see anything crazy.
Okay. And then what time did you go to bed?
Like 3:30ish.
Okay. Did you hear anything odd before going to bed, anything like that?
Not that I'm remembering.
Okay. What time did you wake up?
11:15, 11:30.
Okay. And perfect. I appreciate it, man.
Of course.
Thank you so much. Hi there. How you guys doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. You guys are students?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So you got the manual alert. So we're just conducting a neighborhood canvass, just making sure if anybody heard anything, saw anything last night at all.
I did not. I got back from the Corner Club at 11:30 with my boyfriend, and we didn't hear anything.
Okay. What time did you guys go to bed right after that? Or?
12:30.
I'm not the boyfriend. I was in Spokane.
Okay. And then what time did you wake up?
My boyfriend went hunting at 5 in the morning, so he left around then.
Okay.
And so he's on his way back now.
What's your boyfriend's name? If I give you my card, can you call when he gets...
yeah, he's almost through, so
okay. Yeah, I'm just being around, so...
I just talked to him on the phone and he didn't hear anything either, but...
Okay. Well, I'll give you my card anyway then, if that's the case. You know, if he... I just haven't even called anyway. So I talked to him. Best number to get directly to me is this cell phone number down here. Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Did you guys hear anything last night?
No.
Okay.
Can you tell us what happened?
We're still trying to kind of piece everything together, so I don't have a lot of information, and I couldn't tell you if I did have enough. So, you guys didn't hear anything last night at all? Do you guys have? Do you guys have a neighbor here?
We don't know them.
Okay.
Or actually, I think someone does live there, but we don't know them.
Okay.
We've spoken to them.
What time did you guys get home last night?
We were home the entire day.
Okay.
Oh, last night?
So that's at about 9 o'clock. We went out for snacks and came back at about 10 o'clock.
Okay. So you got after that. What time did you wake up?
8:30.
Okay. All right. Appreciate you guys. That's all I got.
Thanks, Gunderson. Fabulous fucking job. Way to fucking go, buddy. Just the best fucking cop ever. Give him awards. Okay. Sorry, I just wanted to see if we could... Anyways, yeah. I mean... Yes, those are the two that walked up on King. Yeah, 1,000%. This bastard. This dipshit. Total fucking dip. Yeah, we don't need any help here. I'm just gonna half-ass my job. Like, what a fucking moron. Wanted to play... Oh, yeah, here. Kennedy Fitzgerald's interview again.
So basically what I was trying to do is, I'm understanding that you were with that night?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So, what can you tell me, when did you first run into or any of the other gals, or even Ethan, to live in that house?
And we're at my home. They had gotten there, I think, around 11 p.m., 11:30 p.m., and we were there for a few hours before we dropped home.
Okay. So you and were there?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
There it is.
Showed up together?
No, had showed up an hour prior to, and had come. I'm not sure who she had arrived with.
Okay. So, but showed up about when?
I want to say 10:30, I think.
Okay. And where do you live?
Impossible.
What's your actual address?
Impossible. What the fuck is going on here? Thank you. Okay. Now, according to Yessie, she arrives at the Sigma Chi place, and she thought she got there around around 11:30, and she said that Dylan was still there, and that Dylan wanted to go to Kennedy's, but jeez,
I live at
unreal.
Avenue.
Is there an apartment number to that?
No.
Okay. All right. So showed up about 10:30, and then showed up a little bit later.
Correct.
And you said that was about 11:30, right?
Correct.
And she was with another female?
I believe so. She did not arrive alone.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not really sure who she was with.
Okay. All right. And during that time, how long were they there then?
2-3 hours.
Okay. And you said you walked them home?
Yes, I walked them past the Whites.
Okay.
Those apartments, and then we had said our goodbyes, and I walked back to my house.
Okay. And what time was that at?
It was really late. I honestly, ballpark 2 a.m. I honestly don't know for sure.
Damn.
Okay. Okay, so you walked into the Whites. At what point did you stop?
Right in front of those apartments.
So you were still on Taylor Street?
Yes, correct.
Okay, so you didn't walk up with them up towards that little walkway that goes up between the Whites and the other apartments?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
And honestly, I'm not even sure where they went after that. Just because I didn't want like, see what they did after that, if that makes sense.
Alright, but you were on Taylor, you said goodbye, and you turned around and went back to your place.
Yes.
And did they at least start walking towards?
Yes, and walking away from me.
Like towards that path, or continuing up Taylor Street to King?
Continuing up Taylor Street.
Okay. And was there anyone else with them, or was it just the two of them?
There was a group, but I'm not sure who was in that group.
Okay.
There was several people, and I didn't know all of them.
Male or female?
Female.
All female?
Yes.
How many other females do you think were with them?
3 or 4, I think. To be 100% honest, I was drunk, so.
Yeah, I have a feeling a lot of people were drunk that night, so.
Yes. So this is all kind of, I'm, trying my best to recall.
No, and that's all I'm expecting right now. I know that this may not all be 100% accurate, but we're just trying to get a timeline still.
Yes.
Of when everybody was in certain places and certain locations and that. Because one of the information we got of why we should probably talk to you is whoever passed thought that you were with, and I think her name's pronounced Zana.
Xana. I did not see Xana that evening.
Okay, and that's kind of what we were thinking, but we just needed to make sure. That's one of the reasons why we wanted to talk to you as well. But okay.
Yes, I did not see her that evening.
Do you think that both were pretty drunk at the same time?
Yes, I would say so.
Okay. Do you know anyone named?
I do. She was also at my home that night.
Okay. Do you know her last name?
I do not know her last name.
Okay. Do you know where she lives, or is she associated with any sorority houses or anything like that?
I believe she's her last name.
Can you spell that?
I believe.
Okay.
I can double check actually right now.
Okay. Well, I'll let you do that here in just a minute, and then you can just text me her name if you verify it or anything like that for me.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so after you guys were at the house, I'm assuming you guys are partying, drinking, things like that, you walk them back over towards their place, the group continues on, you go back home, and that's the last that you saw her?
Yes, correct.
Okay, alright. Well, I think that is all I need from you. The only other thing I just want to touch up on real quick, I have your address, I have your phone number. What is your middle initial? Okay, and a date of birth for you? Okay. That night?
Correct.
Okay. So what can you tell me? When did you first run into, or any of the other gals, or even Ethan who live in that house?
And we're at my home. They had I think around 11 p.m., 11:30 p.m. And we're there for a few hours.
Okay, right there. That's the story. Right there. Over. Done. That was what was told to say, like, that we were there. That makes absolutely no sense based off of what Yessie is saying. Yessie is saying that she got and showed up to Sigma Chi and
Before we walked home.
Okay.
They had walked.
So you and were there.
Yes, correct.
Okay. And they showed up together?
No, had showed up an hour prior to and had come. I'm not sure who she had arrived with.
Okay. So, but showed up about when?
I want to say 10:30, I think.
Okay.
Okay, didn't Yessie say that Kennedy is like a good friend of hers?
And where do you live? What's your actual address?
So like if Bethany showed up there with Yessie, she would know who the fuck Yessie was, right?
I live at Avenue.
Is there an apartment number to that?
No.
Okay. All right. So showed up about 10:30, and then showed up a little bit later.
Correct.
And you said that was about 11:30, right?
Correct.
And she was with another female?
I believe so. She did not arrive alone.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not really sure who she was with.
Okay, yeah. Okay. We need to go back and listen to Yessie. All right, guys, we will be live tonight. Again, we're working on all of the audio that's going out around over here. But join me back tonight. Run it back from the beginning. 248. A homeboy. Yeah. Yeah. Peace out. Peace out. $68 devices. What devices did they take? These are the people's devices that you would need.